and welcome to Celebrating Simple Life. I'm Kimberly, and I've been planning parties and incredible events for the past 15 years. I'm passionate about connecting people, making gatherings purposeful, and making the most out of every moment. Join me as we learn together how to find joy, celebrate the simple things in life, use events to grow your business, entertain with purpose, and have a whole lot of fun along the way. Cheers to Celebrating Simple Life. I could not be more excited to let you know that Shine Summit tickets are now available. Shine Summit takes place October 1st, 2020. So you have lots of time to reflect, think about how this event might be exactly what you have been looking for. This is going to be a day that will change your life. If you are an entrepreneur or a leader in your industry, maybe you're dreaming of making changes in your life, you will not want to miss this opportunity. When you take time to invest in you, your business, it affects all the areas in your life. It benefits your family, your community, and all the relationships around you. I am literally so passionate about connecting people in ways that help them grow, and this Shine Summit is the perfect opportunity for that. I have experienced firsthand how investing in myself and in my business by attending an event such as this can absolutely change the trajectory of your life, because it has happened to me. Here's why this is powerful. Life is hard. Business is hard. And some days it honestly doesn't take much to feel like everything is going in a chaotic direction. And what is the point of putting in all of the work and effort that running a business and being a leader within your organization takes? But I'm here to tell you that Shine Summit will not only inspire you and give you all of the feels, you guys, but this Shine Summit is going to give you hands-on, tangible tools that will help directly take your life and your business to the next level. Being surrounded by like-minded individuals and those who have been in their entrepreneurial and business journeys longer than maybe you have is absolutely essential. Hearing from them, hearing their stories, hearing their mistakes, and how they're willing to share their experiences, vulnerability, and really try to help you avoid those same mistakes. We have experts from all over that are going to be coming to share their expertise and to grow together. You will be blown away by our headliner, Sarah Heron. Isn't that the girl from The Bachelor? Why, yes, it sure is. Sarah is a force to be reckoned with, and she has taken her experience of being on a public television show and putting her story out there in the world and taking her disability that she was born with and turning it into something extraordinary. She has an incredible story, an incredible business sense, and she is such an inspiring woman. And you get to hang out with her and be inspired. This summit has been created to surround you with a community of incredible women who will challenge you, help you grow and thrive, and we want to see you there. Imagine the energy, joy, and engaging lessons that you get to be a part of and incorporate those directly into your life and business in ways that are specifically tailored to you. We will be talking about leadership, marketing, social media, overcoming adversity, reinventing your business in new and unique ways. This is not the type of conference where you are just going to hear speeches and leave with a few notes. If you are struggling in finding your niche, to sell more, to organize your finances, or maybe you're even afraid to admit the things that you wish you understood in business, then this is the place for you. This is a summit where you will be challenged to be interactive, to dig deeper in order to achieve the goals that you are dreaming up. Shine Summit is being hosted in the most beautiful event space where everyone attending is there for the same purpose, to shine. These tickets are going to sell out fast, and as a listener of Celebrating Simple Life, the podcast, you are the first to know. Check out shinecollective.ca for all the juicy details. Before I introduce today's guest, I want to read another review from iTunes. The continued support, ratings, reviews, and sharing screenshots of episodes that were engaging for you on your Instagram stories about things that you love about Celebrating Simple Life, the podcast, has just made me so happy. I appreciate all of the love and thank you so much for being such a special part of Celebrating Simple Life community. My goal is to connect people in life and business so that we can all live an authentic life and grow together. And when you connect with me through this podcast, it's just a perfect example of this working together, and I just love it so much. So this week's review is from This Old House Market, and they write, "Celebrating Simple Life, Joy. I was so excited for Monday morning to listen to Kimberly's podcast. You spark so much joy in so many people. I am blessed to know you and follow your journey. There are those people that come into our life and make you a better person, and you are one of those people. I can't wait each week to learn and grow with you. Thank you for sharing your journey." Thank you so much, This Old House Market. You have encouraged me so much, and it means the absolute world to me. So if you could please email me at kimberly@celebratingsimplelife.com, and your special gift will be on its way. Today, on this extra special episode of Celebrating Simple Life, the podcast, I am chatting with one of my besties, Jenn. She is my partner in crime for all things Bachelor, Bachelorette, and Bachelor in Paradise. And I know you know this about me because I have posted parties and events that we host for premieres and Bachelor viewing parties and finales. And we have had so many incredible experiences and ways that this reality show has sparked joy. We have picked unique travel destinations that we have gone to because of things we've seen in the show. We've even had some really interesting meetups with some of the cast from these episodes in really unique ways that I can't wait for you to hear about. So stay tuned to hear all about our adventures. And I just want this to be a conversation that you look at and understand how simple things in life and events that come up can be used as ways to celebrate and make life more fun. So stay tuned for this hilarious and fun conversation. Hello, Jenn. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
This is going to be fun.
Super excited to be here.
We have had so many hilarious and funny and magical Bachelor, Bachelorette, Bachelor in Paradise moments that we have so many people that are always asking about these parties we throw and how we've had run-ins with some of the cast by chance, and we just wanted to share with you today all things Bachelor because we've had a pretty exciting life with The Bachelor.
We really have. We really have been blessed when it comes to Bachelor Nation, for sure.
Their biggest fans, for sure, are right here, right now. You and I in this room, missing two members of our squad, our significant others, our husbands, who are our ride or dies.
And would be proud to share it with anybody.
They really would.
Yeah.
So I want to just give back some history. So we post pictures on our Instagram of some of the parties and the fun things that we do, just because, like myself, you are the one person in my life who loves throwing a good party and living it up more than anyone I know, and I think that's why we're such great friends.
I find joy in every detail, and any reason to get together is a good reason.
You do, and I think that's sort of the point of this. I think even for people that are listening who maybe aren't Bachelor, Bachelorette, Bachelor in Paradise fans, the whole purpose behind why we do these things is because it has really connected our friendship and our families, and we were already friends. But this really has just given us something so fun to look forward to many, many times a year. And it's just given us reasons to travel and get together. And we've used that as like a big highlight of our friendship.
I think so. And so many people think that, I would have never thought that The Bachelor would be the one thing that would have sparked so many of these things when you and Kevin first started watching it.
Right?
Not a chance would it have been.
So we're going to back this up here because you've brought this up. Kevin and I, so Jen's husband, Kevin, grew up with my husband, Jesse. So they grew up together, and by a beautiful, fortunate of events, they pick these two wonderful women that they decide to marry, and now you and I get to be friends because of marriage. And so Kevin and I honestly can't even pinpoint this. We're going to have to get Kevin on the show just to like finalize these details because that's what he's all about.
He'll know the facts to a T. Yeah.
But somehow Kevin and I start watching The Bachelorette and The Bachelor years ago. And by watching, we mean we each watch in our own respective homes and text each other while we're watching. So you and Jesse think that we're big losers.
Skeptical. Very skeptical of the time spent watching The Bachelor at this point. For sure.
So they think that we are just like wasting our time and we're watching this, but it's already bringing so much joy. I have always loved these types of reality shows just because I've always been in my career of event planning, which is fairly high stress and always a lot on the go. And when I am taking downtime and gonna just relax and watch TV or do something, I want it to entertain me. I need to feel like I'm transported somewhere else, like I'm not living in my own world, and
just easy.
Just easy. Exactly. So that is what The Bachelorette always has done for me. It's just felt like an easy thing to watch. I don't have to think about it. Suddenly their lives seem more complicated than mine. And it's like somehow like therapy.
Right.
Anyways.
It's an outlet.
It's an outlet. So Kevin is watching these shows and we're like in hysterics, having these random texting conversations about who we like on the show and like, you know how it goes. And so eventually we get to the point where like we had been trying to convince you and Jesse to like join us in these viewings and you just didn't wish to participate.
Without any success.
Yeah, and that's fine. So we just kept going on. That is, okay, so we're just going to say we're at Ali Fedotowsky and Jake Pavelka's season. So we're in about 2010 here when we start watching. 2013 comes around. And I will let you tell this story here, Jen, from your perspective, because it really didn't happen directly to you, but in fact to Kevin.
Right. And this ended up being the game changer. So it was December of 2013, and our family was down in Cabo on a vacation, and our kids were at Kids Club. So Kevin and I were just lounging around the pool, and Kevin's a bit of a planner, so he wanted to make the a la carte reservation for the day. So I was just lounging, and all of a sudden I see Kevin racing back to me, and he was in hysterics. He's like, "Oh my gosh, Jen, I swear on all things Bachelor, Jake Pavelka was just in the lobby." I looked at him, who the heck is Jake Pavelka? And he's like, he's the pilot with United Airlines, and he was on Ali's season of The Bachelor, and I just have to meet him. I have to tell Kim. I'm like, oh boy, like, take a breath. Like, if
I thought George Clooney was coming out to the bar, but like, what on earth?
He was fangirl, like total fangirl. So we finally went and we calmed him down, and we made a plan. So he figured that he needed to have a little bit of liquid courage to approach.
Yeah. Because
it wasn't shortly after that Jake was sitting across the pool from us with his girlfriend that was not a Bachelor contestant. That's
family.
right.
Okay.
She wasn't. And yeah, they were just lounging. So we entered the pool, and he just wanted confirmation, because I think he was so excited that if this was happening, like, he couldn't actually
have to make the most of this moment.
We do.
Yeah.
So he kind of lurked around the pool and got closer, and he did confirm that it was him. So we did have an encounter with them at the buffet. And there was two older ladies in between Jake and his girlfriend and Kevin and myself. And Kev's like, just couldn't believe that these ladies didn't know who he was. And
no one else seems to be
that's right. He's like, I just don't know what to say. And so I said, well, this is your chance. Like, we're here. This is the here and now.
Never.
Yeah, that's right. If not now, when? Which is one of our famous sayings also. So I'm not exactly sure what he said, but he confirmed.
Yeah.
He did. Are you Jake? And Jake was nothing but kind. Really a short little fellow.
Okay.
Yeah, he was a tiny Tim. And he was nothing but kind. And Kev said that it was more for his friend Kim, that he needed to have this encounter, which I don't believe.
I feel like it was mutual. Right. I'm happy to take one for the team if that helped his courage.
It really did. And then Jake engaged with me, saying I'm Jake, and I wanted it to be Kev's moment, and I kindly informed him that I wasn't certain as to who he was.
But can we just hold on here? Which part did the Jake noticing your beautiful perfume scent? Was this later?
That was day 2.
Okay, continue on with the buffet then. We'll get to the perfume.
And that's really all the encounter was. There was a photo op taken, which we have documented on a mug where you and Kevin
my coffee in my matching mug to Kevin many mornings of Kevin and Jake, and it says on the mug, I'll maybe take a picture on my Instagram stories of this because you're going to want to see this mug, and it says, will you accept this rose? And it's Kevin and Jake on the resort that they're at.
looking blissful.
Yeah.
So then again, we ran into them at the snack shack on day 2. And I mean, we can talk about this a little bit later on, but even though I wasn't aware of who he was, it's an odd scenario being in a situation with someone that is, I mean, famous to some degree.
Yes.
And I would venture to say that I'm a pretty confident person, but it does, your mood does shift, and you're thinking, more about the way you're acting.
And I think like being Canadians, this is something that we've like talked about before. Being Canadians, you're like always wanting to be like this sense of polite, and like you don't want to be like out there and be annoying. That's always my greatest fear when I've met somebody famous many times in my life, where you like want to play it cool and have them know that you're just like a regular person, and you can just have a normal conversation, and you think they as well are a regular person because they are a human being.
Right.
But because of the level, because everybody knows them and they don't know you, I think that's where the balance shift happens. Like, everyone knows them. Does he know you? No, he doesn't. But we feel like we're old friends because we've watched it. Because
you've seen a piece of their life, and that's right. So we were in the snack shack line, and whatever, I'm trying to play it cool because I'd kind of shut him down the day before about not knowing who he was. But I wanted to make a further connection for you and Kev. Yeah. And he commented on the scent.
So you're sweating to death beside the pool, and somehow your beautiful aroma of your perfume is portraying off of your sweaty body.
So he said, so what is that scent you're wearing? And my response was none other than Britney Spears. Keeping it 100.
In 2013.
Did not even know how to. Not Calvin Klein, nothing high end. Just Britney Spears. So Gucci, I don't know.
Prada, Chanel.
Just plain old Britney.
Plain
old Britney. So I don't know if he ran to the duty free and purchased some for his girlfriend or not.
If only if you were a fly on the wall.
Or at Walmart for $19.99.
Totally. Yeah. Totally. So they meet Jake, you guys come home, and obviously you're like messaging me, telling me this story, and then so from here, you're right, this is exactly where the turning point happened. So now all we needed was for you to have a meet and greet to realize that's what she needed to get engaged. We couldn't lure her in just by watching an episode.
No.
Jen needed more. She needed a full interaction. So now this happens. So then we start watching. I feel like at this point, did we start watching episodes together, or did we still not really start yet?
We did. We hosted our first viewing party for Juan Pablo.
That's right. Yeah. Okay, so we're at your house. So what we've done is like we take turns. Sometimes we live in different cities. So sometimes we drive to your place. Sometimes you guys drive to our place, and we like try to fit it in. Bachelor and Bachelorette Nation. If Monday night could be a different night of the week, Mondays, who can drive 2 to 3 hours to go visit their friends on a Monday night? Well, we can. We make it happen.
We have.
But a Friday night would be really convenient if we could get that lined up in the channel scheduling of the show showing up on a Friday. So we could actually celebrate.
And don't have to take a hiatus from social media.
That's right.
To find out
in order to
the
not
happenings.
know what's happening. So we make it work. We do what we can. So we came to your house and we had our very first, and this was where you presented me with my mug, was it not?
Yeah, this was the presentation of the mug. And I believe we had the whole house adorned in Juan Pablo's home country colors.
Right.
And we always try to theme it.
Well, it is. And so what we normally do, so obviously we usually throw either a premiere, like kick off the season kind of party on the very first night so that we get to see all the contestants, or we'll do a finale where it's like the final thing, will they propose, will they not, and then you've already watched the whole season, but we do the party at the end. So I feel like we've always tried to be like super specific in So we'll like watch the episode. So we've either had a kickoff party together where we know nothing about the season yet. It's the kickoff, but we know who the contestants are.
Right.
And that's how we pick the theme. So obviously picking something like his home country because he wasn't American. Well,
right.
Was American, but anyways.
Which is very unique.
Yes.
To Bachelor contestants.
So we like picked that and did that. And then if we're doing a finale party, we've been able to watch the whole season and we try to pick little ornate details throughout the thing. So places they've traveled to on their dates, things that have come up, funny sayings, like randomness that just seems to come up, or we'll like pick specific details so that each party that we throw isn't just red and roses and bachelor themed. We really like to take it a step further. And
the roses are always included.
of course.
Always.
You can't not.
As is Chris Harrison's photo.
Yes.
In every party that we have ever hosted.
That's right. Yeah.
But everything else is the attention to detail on the Bachelor or the Bachelorette.
So I will throw out a few posts coming up in the near future where you can see specific details of some of the party details that we've done. And we laugh because literally never in my wildest dreams did I think that this would be something that would sort of like catch on to people around us. So yes, we live in the very middle to west of Canada. There is not Bachelor contestants living where we live. Like most of them all live in the States. So it's not like we're surrounded by them, but we feel like this is like an international show. People all over the world are watching this show. And so people around us and our friends on social media are seeing us post these pictures and seeing how into it we're getting. And I think that's the point that I'm wanting to get across here, is that it became like a contagious almost thing. People are seeing that we're posting, they're seeing how much fun we're having, and it is legit fun. We are not posting this because we're like, oh, look at our cool parties. Not like that. It has literally, we were always friends, but it has literally been one of the things that has like brought our friendship so much closer. Just because we've spent way more time with you guys, first and foremost, because of all of these parties.
For sure.
Finding reasons to hang out. And life's busy. You guys have kids, we have kids, everyone works full time, everyone has a life.
Right.
We live hours apart.
Right.
We don't even live in the same city where this can like happen in an evening and you just go back home.
For sure, or even just like the texting weekly, right?
Because of it. Because of it. So it's like fun lead up, fun banter, or you see something hysterical on social media that's pertaining to the season. Right. You have to comment, you have to share it with each other. And it's just been a way to like stay in touch and have like a common denominator of something funny that we really only find funny. You can't send it really to many other people who don't. And so anyway, so we start these parties. So then we go back and forth and we host and we like figure out, and then we decide following Jake Pavelka's season, which then, or you guys meeting, not following his season, but you guys meeting him, that following year in 2014 was the Andy Dorfman season of The Bachelorette, as well as Chris Souza's season of The Bachelor.
Andy sent him away.
Yeah.
Because she chose Josh, and then he ended up being the Bachelor.
So that was sort of where it started. So we ended up seeing this cute little place called Deadwood in South
Dakota. Yeah.
And decided, you know what? We need to take this a step further.
This is next level.
This is
an opportunity.
We are going to go to Deadwood for family vacation.
Pack up the gang.
Yeah. So we have now branded our vacations into a combination of our last names, and we call it Evgert. Yeah. Evans and Wingert. And we have these vacations that we go on that have now taken a step ahead. We still do our parties, but now this is also another thing we do. So every summer since 2014, we have now taken a family vacation for like a week to 10 days.
In a tent, mind you.
Tenting. Yeah. Really taking one for the team, if you guys know me at all, about the outdoors and camping and comfortability. And so we went to Deadwood, and it was
the best. Like, the kids enjoyed every bit of it, just the gunfights on the street, and I mean, just being in the locations that Chris and Lone Star were at on his dates. It kind of just made us feel like, this is one step closer.
It is. We were part of the family, and it was super fun. So we planned this vacation. We did North and South Dakota, That's Deadwood being part of the vacation. We did a million other things, and it was amazing. But that was sort of how that all started. So now each year since then, we continue to have these vacations that are not themed Bachelor, Bachelorette.
No.
However, we have randomly been able to sort of pinpoint a few things that have always come up in it. So we had that was, so I guess it was a year ahead actually. That was 2015 that we did our trip to South Dakota. I think I said 2014.
That's right, the summer of
before.
2014. Yeah.
And then in 2016, you guys, once again, how am I never a part of these meet and greets? But you guys tell the story about being down in Vegas.
Well, we were down at the Country Music Awards, and we were down with another couple, and I had to run and go grab a drink or whatever, and I was coming out and around the corner, and I was like, oh my goodness, I'm certain that's one of the twins. I am certain that is one of the twins.
I mean Emily and Haley.
Right, and I can't actually remember what season they were on first. They've been on numerous seasons of The Bachelor.
Up until even just now, being on
Bachelor in Paradise. Haley was on.
Yes.
But so I ran back to our group, and I was like, I just saw one of the twins.
And let us reflect, who's fangirling now? This is Jennifer.
I am Kevin. Like,
that is my favorite part of the story. That she is now in it.
I am. I was totally in it. And I was like Kevin. I was, take a breath. And they were like, what is going on, Jen? Just take a breath. So I said, I saw one of the twins, and like, we have to go meet her. We have to. And no one believed me. I don't know why. I mean, is this another encounter? Like, how could we be this lucky?
Right. Yes.
In the Bachelor world.
Keep falling.
That's right. Yeah. So whatever, I made the group get up, and we kind of surveyed the area where I was, and there was no luck there. So we went back to our seat, and we looked over our shoulder, and to the left of us was not only Haley, but Emily as well. Yay! Double trouble.
So winning is winning.
So this is it. This is it now. Like, if not now, when? Again. We need to get up and approach. But again, it goes back to that awkward thing. Like, and I mean, Las Vegas is their hometown. So you would assume that there'd be more familiarity there.
That's right.
But whatever, they were walking with a group of 2 other people and seemed to be unbothered. So do you want to? But you have to.
Yes.
If you're a Bachelor fan, you're gonna
grab life by the horns.
You just have to.
You just have to.
Right. So I said to Kevin, like, you have to speak. You have to speak. And again, going back to the confidence thing, it is me that speaks. It's never Kevin. It's always me. But I couldn't.
Just climbing up in those high pressure scenarios.
It is. And it was just it was the initial engagement. After that, I took on the role. But I totally threw Kevin under the bus and was like, again, he's the fan, not really me, but I did then kind of throw out the Jake Pavelka meeting and told them the story. And I'm sure that they really didn't care.
Yes, of course.
And knew that I wanted a picture and was on my way. I was able to obtain that, and I was super happy. But it's such a unique feeling to meet these people, and then you walk away, and I guess you have a story to tell after at the end of the day.
Well, and so 2016 was like a pretty big year. This was also a big turning point in some of the things that we did. So you guys meet Haley and Emily,
right,
and report back, and I'm like, oh, once again, why wasn't I there?
You know that feeling when you put on your favorite sweater and it feels like home, like something you could just wear forever, a big hug. Foreverly Yours is a local, amazing company that not only creates sustainable kids and women's apparel, accessories, and organic fabrics, but believes in the customer service and wants every piece of their collection to be something that you will love. The heart of their company believes that everyone should have access to fashionable, sustainable, handmade clothing at an accessible price. Each piece is handmade with love. One of my favorite products are their scrunchies, which I now get to share with my girls. They have such fun patterns and prints, and they are always a conversation piece. We even carry their lemon scrunchies exclusively to our nonprofit Cassidy's Lemonade Stands boutique for cystic fibrosis, and everyone just loves them. Because all of the products are handmade with love, they are coming up with new prints and patterns all the time. I already know what my next purchase is going to be. It's the You're Making Me Blush long sleeve tee, which will be perfect for fall. And I absolutely love the blush color that it comes in. They even offer free shipping on all orders over $75. And as a valued member of the Celebrating Simple Life community, you get an exclusive code to receive 15% off your entire order. 15% off your entire order. You can get a jump start on your holiday shopping by clicking over to www.foreverlyyours.com and use the code CELEBRATE15 at checkout to receive your discount. That's foreverlyyours.com and use the code CELEBRATE15 because today is a great day to celebrate.
But then in the meantime, Canada has started now to jump on board, and they had already previously had a season of The Bachelor Canada.
Right.
And had they only had one?
I
think
believe
only
so.
one. So then Canada decided to have their first season of The Bachelorette Canada. So the first female contestant in their thing. So we're not going to throw Canadian media under the bus.
No.
But when something has already started at a level like the Bachelor and Bachelorette franchise.
And it's established.
It is established. It's been around for many years. They've done a really good job of like the way they make the shows. It's like engaging and entertaining and professional and really great.
For sure.
Sometimes when another media company decides to go in and do a show in a different country, it doesn't always come out in the same kind of way, and it's just a little bit harder to get on board because you're used to it in a certain format. It looks a certain way. Canada did theirs a little bit differently, but because we're fans and we are proud Canadians, we wanted to make sure that we gave it our best shot.
Didn't want to miss out.
Didn't want to miss out. So we watched the season of The Bachelorette Canada with Jasmine Lorimer.
Yeah.
And she was adorable and like the cutest human, and it was such a great season.
And the quality was amazing.
It was amazing. And we were so hooked. However, during this season, they decided they obviously were needing to engage fans and needing to engage people to watch, because the first season of any show is always trying to build your fan base, I'm imagining.
For sure.
And so they put out this contest for the Bachelorette SuperFan.
In the summer.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I think that the season, was it only airing in the fall?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Like maybe it was, late August.
They had been taping it already,
sure.
but it was going to air in the fall.
Yeah.
So throughout the summer, they started advertising this contest, and they were going to be picking one person for every week of the season. So I don't even know. I think it ended up being around 8 weeks.
I think eight's the number.
Something. So they had 8 people that could potentially win, and you could win a spot on being a part of the Bachelorette Canada after show. So you weren't a part of anything to do with the episode or anything like that, but like Chris Harrison in years past, they don't really do this anymore, but there used to be this like after show where you would like
kind of recap
what happened that week on the episode and
give your opinion, thoughts.
Just sort of almost like a book club.
Right. A chit chat.
And so anyways, they did this for Canada, and so I'm right away like, Jen, we so need to apply to be on this thing. So I put together this whole video and this whole thing.
Yep.
I tell you, it was a lot of work.
It was a montage.
It was a whole thing. So first, I don't think the video was first. First, you just had to submit your entry. So
That's
I had to
correct.
like submit online that I like wished to enter, and that was like all that needed to happen.
Right. And maybe a reason why you would be
like why. So I
considered
like wrote a little bit of a story about obviously many things
Our
to
history,
tell about
yeah.
our history of the Bachelor and Bachelorette, and so submitted that, and then there was a second part where you had to submit a video. So then you had to submit a video. So I spent so much time like accumulating the photos and different things that all of us had done for our parties and things that we had done for our Bachelorette parties, just to show how big of fans we really were.
And then there were some questions that you had to include in the video.
That's
also,
right. There was like a list of things that had to be included. So I had to make sure that I like recorded little clips of me answering these questions amid some photo montage, and I made it into this super cute video.
It was fabulous, by the way.
Put it all together. I'll probably maybe tag that somewhere too.
Yeah.
See if we can bring that out of the woodwork. And submitted it. So waiting in suspense to like find out. You know how it is. I'm not really
expectations.
Yes, I'm never a contest enterer of like. I mean, first of all, I rarely enter contests. However, the ones that I do, I've like often won.
You've done
That's
well
like
with.
another podcast.
A song for another time.
But I always feel like you can't win if you don't enter.
That's true.
So you have to put yourself out there, and it's vulnerable. It really is. This comes back to confidence and vulnerability, and submitting a video of yourself talking about something like The Bachelor, Bachelorette, and then submitting it to the abyss of wherever, whomever's looking at this.
Where does it end up?
Who's at all seeing this?
Who is making these decisions?
And I was signing away that once I submit this video, they can use it for whatever they want to do.
Right, it's out there.
It's out there.
Right.
So anyways,
wouldn't you know it, I get the email saying that I have been selected.
You are a super fan.
I'm a super fan. Lost my mind. Called. First of all, actually, I received the email and first was skeptical.
There's a conundrum here.
First of all, I was like, is this for real?
Right.
Like, is this even, I mean, I knew the show was real. I knew it was coming out, but I was like, I got an email. Like, is this really for real? I like called you and said, like, what do you think?
Right.
But sure enough, replied back, got more details. It was all real. This was all legit. And so I got to bring a guest along with me to Vancouver, fly us out there for the weekend.
Expenses paid.
And of course, Jen was my ride or die for the weekend, and we had so much fun. And so we've ended up a few weeks later flying out to Vancouver, and we flew out there, and
well, it was actually the anniversary yesterday, right?
yes, exactly. This weekend, this exact weekend, and today is Monday when the podcast is launching, but this whole weekend right now was like the weekend that we were in Vancouver in 2016. And so we get to Vancouver and they like had a car pick us up at the airport. Like we honestly felt like we were Bachelorette contestants.
Like names on the sign, limo driver, whole ticket.
It was the best. And so they pick us up. We drive to this hotel downtown Vancouver where they had put us up. Yeah. And part of what I had agreed to in being the Bachelorette superfan was that I was supposed to document parts of our trip, even getting from Saskatoon to Vancouver. So even in the Saskatoon airport already, while we're waiting to board our flight, we're taking some video footage of like, hey, we're leaving Saskatoon, that kind of thing. And then when we got to Vancouver, we were like, oh, we should really get photos of us like getting out of this limo town car.
Kind of like the contestants.
Just like the contestants, just to like have that on our video. So it was only the two of us, so one of us had to video. So Jen was going to video me getting out of the town car. And she gets out first, and I stay in the vehicle so that I can make my grand debut.
Looking natural.
And it had been a day already. We were tired, and we're like getting there. And so I see Jen out the window, and she can't see in because the town car
tinted.
Is very
tinted. Yeah.
So I'm not paying attention and don't have my wits about me, and I blast open the limo door, and I absolutely nailed a pedestrian in the kneecap.
Smoked him hard down to the ground. Also captured on video.
So, needless to say, wherever we are, joy and hysterics will follow.
Never a dull moment.
That started the moment, and so from there, we were going to go grab a bite of dinner that night. And there was just this like feeling of excitement as we were there, because this was like a contest that we won, super fun, just to go hang out in Vancouver, and it was a getaway. It was another thing to celebrate. It was a getaway. So we check into the hotel, and we were going to go grab a bite to eat just in the lobby because it was like getting kind of late.
It was late evening.
Needed to be ready for the next day, which was like the day of...
And bright and early.
Yeah. So we are eating our dinner when whom appears... Did you see him?
Yeah. Enter the Chad. And if you watch The Bachelor at all, he needs no introduction.
No introduction. Enters the Chad. And let's just say that his demeanor looked exactly as what we had witnessed on TV. He did not look happy.
Less than welcoming.
Yeah. He was wearing a ball cap, pulled way down, and he didn't look very happy. And we knew, so we were already kind of on the lookout for him, because we knew that we knew who the people were going to be on the panel with me for the superfan. So they have this after show. One person is the superfan, who is me, the nobody on the panel. Nobody knows I am the superfan. Then they also had people that were famous that were going to be on the panel. So Jennifer Valentine was the host of the after show, and she is a television host from many years and different things. She used to do breakfast television. There was different things. She's from Toronto. And they also had Jessica Mulrooney, who also needs no introduction.
Just lovely.
Yeah, she was lovely. And so she flew out from Toronto as well. Yeah. And then the Chad was going to be on the panel. So we were already anticipating seeing these people. And then the none other, most hysterical woman you will ever meet in your entire life, comedian Deborah DiGiovanni, whom is funnier in person than anybody.
You can't say her name without laughter.
No, she's
the best.
So hysterical and just such a fun human. And so anyways, these are the people. So we were already on the lookout, wondering, do they put these people at the same hotel as us?
Right.
Are they staying somewhere else? Like, because I'm the nobody, am I
Right.
staying here? And they're at like the
Are we
Four
down
Seasons?
level?
Yeah.
What are the chances?
What are the chances? But anyways, you can continue. In walks the Chad.
The Chad, and again, like, not approachable even if you wanted to. The way that he sat, he was slouched over.
And by himself. Alone.
Right, alone.
No plus one.
No plus one. Also not a shocker, based on the opinion that we'd had
Yes.
from The Bachelor.
Just seeing what's on TV, which you never know if that is for real or if that is just made for TV.
But it really felt, at that moment, like it was for real.
For real, yeah.
So,
Once again,
back
we're
to a conundrum. Do
we
you approach?
the unapproachable?
So, we're texting our husbands as to what
Like,
we should do.
Making our one phone call. Do we approach the Chad?
The answer is yes.
The answer is yes, but
We didn't.
we didn't.
We
We
didn't.
chickened out
didn't.
only because we just wanted to make sure that the next day while we were taping, things weren't awkward. And we just didn't want to
That's
be
right.
those people. We wanted the day that we were all supposed to be meeting each other to be like the fresh start for the day.
That's right. But then we did have some regrets about it after.
We did. Yeah, we went back to the hotel and we're like, back to our hotel room and we're like, oh,
We should have. We just should have.
Yeah. So anyways, that was that night. So the next day, we had to get up early, but we first got to go and watch. So one of the people that worked for the network, they came to get us.
That's
and we went into a different hotel room to view that week's episode of The Bachelorette
That's right.
Canada.
That's right.
So we had to be in the know about the show that we were going to be discussing
To have the discussion,
later
yes.
on, to have the discussion, but this episode hadn't been viewed to the world yet. This was the one that was going to be airing that night. So we had to, in secret, watch this episode so that we
Super
could know,
cool
which was
experience
super
as a
cool.
Bachelor fan.
Really felt like we were getting the inside scoop.
VIP.
And it was fun because the person that worked for the network, she was like also into it. So
She
we
was
were like
so chill and
talking
so
about
fun.
it,
Yeah.
and it was really fun. And so from there, then we got to go over. It was just around the corner, across the street, to the actual like network,
Yeah, to
to
the
where
studio.
the studio and where they filmed everything. And they had the green room there, and we were the first to get there.
We were.
And they had the hairstylist and the makeup artist, and it just felt like this just super magical experience of, hey, like,
It was a celebrity. Like, it's what they would encounter on a
it
daily
was.
basis.
I had to
And you're
like pick out my outfits ahead of time.
You had to bring a few.
Yeah, I had to bring a few. I had to give them different options because they needed to make sure that they were going to look good on camera and that it wasn't too busy or wasn't too not busy. And
And
like,
if it matched your spray
if it
legs.
matched my spray tan, which is a whole nother story. And yeah, so we got to go in there, did hair and makeup and just hang out, and it was super fun. And then slowly the other panelists started arriving. So was it Deborah that came first?
Deborah was next
Yes,
on the
she
list
was next.
after us. Yeah.
Let's just say she was more than hesitant to sit in the makeup and hair chair.
Did not
which,
want her hair or
Deborah,
makeup
if
done.
you're listening to this, I feel like you could do a whole entire bit about how hysterical you were about getting your hair and your makeup done because I could never tell if you were really not wanting it or is it just hard to turn off the comedy because you are just
Well, I think the makeup artist didn't know either.
and it was so funny. Like, she is just so good at what she does. There's a reason
She
why
is.
she is a comedian because she is so funny.
And she just sets the tone. Like, it made it so enjoyable. And everyone relaxed once she was in. Yeah, it was great
She was
to have
just
her
a
around.
very, very warm human. It was just like super amazing to hang out with her.
Yeah, it was.
So she came in and then Chad.
Enter the Chad in his three-piece suit.
Yeah, he
Yep.
looked smart.
Didn't look bad.
Oh no, he's easy on the eyes.
Yeah.
Good looking guy, confident.
Very
so
confident.
Just enters the room.
And went straight for the meat tray that was on the table. And again, if you know anything about the Chad, that's what he did on his season.
And we weren't sure because I think you and I actually even commented on that when we walked. The green room is a smallish area,
Right.
so you saw it all when you walked in. But they had like food. We were kind of there for a long period of time, so they had beverages
were.
and food and like different trays of stuff just to like eat if you wanted something.
Lots of
to
snacks,
eat.
yeah.
One being a deli tray, and
Meats.
sure enough, he went straight for the meats, which was just like the show. So
2 pieces at a time.
yeah. So now we're check 2. He was
looking unapproachable, and he went for the meat tray.
Right.
And this seemed typical. But
things are adding up in our own.
Deborah, in all of her beautiful wisdom, made even the things about him, because she was not a Bachelorette fan. That was the part that I think I loved the most about it all, is that I don't think she had ever watched an episode.
And she hadn't, I think, was openly admitting to that, right? And she didn't care.
No, didn't
Who he
care.
was.
Like, it was so liberating. Anyway, so yeah, she's like talking about him. And if you follow Deborah on Instagram, she likes posting photos of good-looking
Men.
guys.
Lots of men.
And making jokes about it. And it's hysterical. And Chad was one of her muses.
And for once, he didn't have anything to say.
No!
It was.
So everyone's getting touched up, and then in flows Jessica Mulrooney,
Right.
just as beautiful as ever, and she was so warm and kind
And not intimidating at all.
No, she was just absolutely lovely to talk to.
Yeah.
Just a good Canadian woman.
Yes,
Yeah.
she was.
Yeah, and yeah, she was super nice, and we had a chance to like talk a little bit before, and then now you got to have a unique experience in this, because I'm getting hair and makeup done because I'm going to be on the panel up there, and while this is all happening, the crew and the production team are like setting the stage and making sure everything is set up for production, but they needed some live bodies to sit and be part of it.
They did.
Enter Jen.
Right. So I got to actually be the mock contestant as well while you were getting ready.
Were you the mock me?
I was the mock you.
Oh yeah, you were.
So really, it was a replay into what you were going to get, identical for the real thing, which is super helpful to them, I would assume. But yeah, so I got to kind of experience it from both pieces. I got to be, in quotes, on the panel and in the background in the audience and see it from a production standpoint as well. So
like super cool.
It was.
So then
amazing.
we just got to hang out, and there was some like sort of time that was just a waiting game, and so they had a live studio audience for this, and it was a very tiny tiny studio that they filmed this in, but there was probably 50 people.
Yeah, I wouldn't say certainly anymore.
No, sitting in
that.
the audience.
Yeah.
And then the production crew, and then the stage. So they had people that obviously somehow were able to get tickets to be in the live studio audience for this. I don't ever know how that all worked out.
I don't either.
But they were there, and so then the night happened, and it was just, honestly, it was like almost one of those out-of-body experiences where I remember it, but it was almost like so surreal while it was happening that I like couldn't believe, and this is live.
Right.
This was not
It's one and done.
taped. So this is live, and they like had like the commercials, cut to commercials, and like the hair and the makeup would come and like touch you up and do whatever, and it was so fun. And then we just got to talk about The Bachelor. So that's what we did. Talked about The Bachelorette and like went through the whole thing. And then after the show, just like kind of said bye to everybody, because we're like, we've now spent hours and hours with these people
a full
day hanging out with them, and it was really fun experience, and just like
we felt like we were all friends at the end of it. Not sure if they did, but
not sure what everyone else thinks about, but we sure did. And then we just got to spend the weekend like hanging around Vancouver. So
but we did have a chance to follow up with our friendship with Chad.
We did.
Yeah.
We did. Yeah, we ran out for dinner and drinks later on that night, and ended up running into him
just
on
like,
the street while we were out there, and had a little chit chat,
and he was so hilarious.
He was.
And so easy to talk to.
He was super nice. So still a little confused as to like how the persona on TV and even the things you see on social media, because he really does seem like a really nice guy, but yet then you see things that are posted sometimes.
Right. And I mean, if they've branded you the villain and that's what you're going off of, I guess maybe for some period of time anyways, you have to follow that.
But yeah, I would definitely go and say genuine, really nice guy.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So we had an awesome time out there, and that was just sort of another stepping stone of like, okay, wow, really cool experiences can happen when you decide that you are going to have fun in your life and being a part of throwing parties and hanging out. And it doesn't matter what it is. These are not high-end wild parties. Like, this is just us hanging out, having a good time, and we take some fun pictures and have a good time
Where the decor literally comes from the dollar store.
Yes. And it's a blast no matter what. And so
So then following year of after 2017, we ended up taking a family trip, all of us again, to Denver.
Right.
And nothing Bachelor, Bachelorette related. We were just on a family vacation, but we happened to notice online, we always research the cities that we're going to and different things and try to find fun activities to do that are
unique,
different. And we usually hit up a baseball game or something because it's summer, and ended up going to Coors Field in Denver for a game. And we're just going to hashtag regret. One thing that happened at Coors Field was that we actually ran into Lace,
right,
who is another contestant from the Bachelor, Bachelorette franchise, and we didn't engage.
We froze.
In the conversation. We froze. We absolutely froze. My one moment to shine.
Yes! I've been through this.
I'm going to own this. Yeah. My one moment to shine, and I froze. And it was actually Jesse, my husband, who spotted her.
He did.
Good on him.
Right.
Attention to detail is not his thing, but he
nailed it that day. And we messed that up.
And I totally messed it up on me. So anyways, saw her, but we had looked around and had seen some events that were coming up in Denver. And there was this one particular bar that was actually quite close to Coors Field.
Yeah, the View Top.
Yeah, the View Top, that had weekly Bachelorette viewing parties, just as a part of their regular thing that they did at their bar. Because, again, it's a Monday night that it airs, so I'm guessing restaurants and bars are trying to build up some momentum on a Monday, because that would be the most
popular. It's a reason for people to
night
gather, yeah.
Yeah, so they had this super cool bar that had, like, cornhole and like bean bags and like games and like fun things that you could do outside. So some people brought their like male significant others whom weren't fans of the show. Some were fans of the show.
Some were fans.
I'm not trying to stereotype here. Right. Everyone to each their
Majority
own.
were playing cornhole though.
That's right. Yeah. And they had these super cool booths and tables and things outside, and they had a huge viewing screen outside that was like watching an outdoor movie. Yeah. And so we got to order these fun rose-themed cocktails.
It was all Bachelor themed, the menu.
They had the menu all Bachelor themed. It was super fun. And ended up sitting with a mother-daughter duo at the table that we were at that night. And James Taylor, not the singer, but a singer.
An aspiring singer.
Aspiring singer, but he was a Bachelorette contestant.
He was.
And he was we always loved him on his season because he was so nice and just like seemed like such a good-hearted guy. But he was one of the fans that you could meet that night. So he was at the event, and there was a little meet and greet. And
he was mingling, and he was so approachable.
And he even sang for us.
He did sing for us.
He played and sang, and it was so fun. And it was just like the coolest little event to be at. And we've stayed in touch with our friends, mother-daughter, we really, really have. And maybe one day we'll make a Bachelor excursion down. Exactly. Yeah. So anyways, those types of things, again, drawing this all back to connection. I feel like I know that for me in my business and in my life, I do things for the purpose of connection. And I think that connection can happen in a million different ways. And I think you have to be open to the idea that when opportunities present themselves and certain things keep coming up, that you need to listen to those things. And for us, that has been throwing these parties and hanging out and making reasons to gather together, even if something as hilarious as The Bachelor, Bachelorette, which you can take with a grain of salt, it is what it is.
For sure.
And it's just made using our coffee mugs that have Jake Pavelka and Kevin on them, and the Chris Harrison photo cake that you guys brought to our house one year.
Donning the raincoat.
Right? Yes. And like the fun activities that we've done along the way. We've had viewing parties in our hot tub, like watching as if we were like pretending like we're on the show.
We made a racetrack out of our front lawn in the snow and hauled each other around in wagons. In racing suits.
Yeah. Like, there's so many fun things that have come of this. And I guess I want you, if you're listening to this and thinking, well, you might be thinking, this is the craziest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. To each their own.
Yes,
for us, this is magical, and it has like really brought so much joy to our lives. And if you're thinking, wow, how do I go about doing this? It just means starting. You just start something, and you have a friend over to have a glass of wine while you watch an episode of The Bachelor or any other thing that you wanted to be a part of. This doesn't have to be Bachelor, Bachelorette. For us, that's what this is. But just finding ways during the week, on the weekend, in the times where we're heading into winter here where we live, and that is a long, awful season.
beautiful.
Right? And I think we just need to like find ways to find joy. So thank you, Jen. This has been a slice. We could do probably an individual episode for every single party we've ever done.
Could.
Right?
We could.
Yeah.
We could.
So thank you for being here today and taking the time to recap these amazing magical moments. And I am going to share, like I said, links in the show notes and online for you to look through at some of our pictures of Bachelor, Bachelorette. And thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. A trip down memory lane was lovely.
This show would not be possible without you, my incredible listeners. It would mean the world to me if you would subscribe to Celebrating Simple Life wherever you listen to podcasts. If you really want to make my day, leave a review. Each week, I will pick one review that will be read on the show, and the person who left that review will receive a special gift from me. Cheers to Celebrating Simple Life.